This is the last of the biomolecules that we have to worry about. For breaking it down, at least. And I have put the one with the blanks. Oh, by the way, send me an email later on today, and I will put the unadulterated, that sounds awesome, unadulterated PowerPoint for Chapter 17, Part 2 on MyFire. All right. But, yeah, so the one with the blanks for Part 1 for Chapter 18 is already available on MyFire. So are the suggested problems. So I just had to put this in there because I came from the Parks and Recreation. It's an old show now, but that is awesome. Yeah, me meet Tornado. So we're talking about proteins, breaking down proteins, getting energy from your proteins. Which, by the way, one thing that keeps proteins a little different, we have a way to store fats, right? We have, those are lipids, we have ways to store carbohydrates and sugar, particular glycogen. But we don't with protein. I mean, yes, you can say muscle, but you don't want to build muscle just to break it down for the energy. That's not the whole purpose. So we don't store protein per se for energy storage. Okay. So it's one that is only in the shorter term. So this is called oxidative degradation. I just abbreviate it. If it says AA from here on out, it's not Alcoholics Anonymous, it's amino acids. Okay. That way you don't have to go and tell everybody we're talking about AA and biochemistry. So, what are the main parts of the amino acid that can be degraded? Oh, which, by the way, I just realized that one of the slides didn't come through. Some little factoids for you. Carnivores can derive up to 90% of their energy needs from amino oxidation if it's right after a meal. You just ate, that double patty grilled chicken breast sandwich. You can use up 90% of that for energy. Little other thing. So there are only 3 circumstances you get your protein-rich diets, but once again, unlike fats and sugars, you can't store proteins. You can have amino acid oxidation degradation. It's called oxidative degradation, I'm sorry. Oxidative degradation just from normal protein turnover. Right? You have to have it, there's a, just like it says in Ecclesiastes, there's a time for everything. So a time to be born, time to die. Yeah?
Sorry.
You still think about the meat tornado?
Yeah. So if you don't eat carbs with your protein, then you're just going to be using those proteins you eat for energy sources. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you're going to have to get energy.
Right.
And so if you're only having a primarily protein-rich diet, whether, even just for an immediate meal or whatever, then the first place that you can get your energy may be from stored. Right? You don't store enough glycogen to do it for very long, and most of it's going to go for your brain. Then you're going to get fats. That's one of the reasons why the Atkins diet does work, especially in the short term. It can work. You can lose fats, storage, pretty fast, especially for men, sometimes more so than women, because the fact is, if you're only eating protein, there's no way for you to store protein for long term. And so you're going to get it from energy, and then you're going to start to have to use up your fat. And then at some point in time, which we'll see that, and then that's point number 3, it can go out of whack. It can be bad. That's where, like, if you had to choose between me on my soapbox, if you had to choose between the Atkins diet versus the South Beach diet, which is where you do protein, high protein, but you also supplement that with certain types of carbohydrates, then that usually makes better sense for the long term. But yeah, so the answer is you're going to have to use it for energy. At some point in time, if you have very, very low percentage body fat, then you're only on a protein-rich diet, then it's going to have your energy going to come from protein. Okay. Because in the third thing, so you get there are 3 times you get what's oxidative amino acid oxidative degradation, and that occurs 3 ways. One's high protein-rich diet. 2 is just from normal protein turnover. It's not saying from Ecclesiastes. Proteins have got to, when proteins start to go bad, they've got to be degraded. You can break them up from amino acids. You can also just, that's just normal protein turnover. And the third way is through starvation or uncontrolled diabetes mellitus. It's called ketoacidosis. Ketosis. And if it gets out of whack, then that can be really bad. And we talk about that later. I think it's later this chapter. If not, it'll be in the other but but we'll talk about ketosis and ketoacidosis and how ketone bodies can be bad in that sense. Okay. All right, so what part of the amino acid can we use for energy? Okay, and so, you know, just generically speaking, and I would expect you to know what an amino acid looks like. I'm going to do it as a carboxylate. Okay, this is the generic amino acid. If we go part by part, what parts of it can actually be used to get energy?
The R group, depending on what R group is.
Depending on what the R group is, possibly. I mean, can you, if we break it down, can you get energy from this hydrogen? No. Okay, can you get energy from a carboxylate? You get very little, because carbon dioxide, CO2, means that carbon has given up all of its energy. And we've got to get rid of this. This is the whole purpose. This is bad. Bad, 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 bad. Okay, so the nitrogen in and of itself, if you try to get rid of it, and, you know, as ammonia, you would die, right? If you got too much ammonia. We're not fish. We can't just have it seep out of us. Just called ammonia like animals, okay? And so it's really primarily from the carbon backbone, depending upon the R group and that. So you're really limited in that instance. All right. And so what we're going to leave off on for today is you first have got to lose the amino group, because you want that alpha keto acid, because it's going to be the alpha keto acid backbone that's going to be the important part. Then from that carbon skeleton, you only have three possibilities. One is you can oxidize it all the way down to carbon dioxide and water. Like I said, carbon dioxide means that carbon's completely spent. You used it, I shouldn't say use and abuse, that's bad. But you used it, you're gonna get rid of it. Kick it to the curb, so to speak. Sounds like a really bad Springer episode. Then you're gonna try to break everything down into 3 and 4 carbon units, so that way you can convert it ultimately to glucose, which what metabolic pathway will take those 3 to 4 carbon units and put it into to make glucose. What one makes glucose? Gluconeogenesis. Glycolysis will break it down, but gluconeogenesis can make it from the liver to go ultimately to the brain, for the brain to take it for glycolysis. Or you can break part of them down and put them into the citric acid cycle. We're going to try to see, and that's the kind of thing that we're going to see over and over again. And then we will talk about, there's got to be a way to get rid of the amino group. For us, we use the urea cycle, but not all animals use the urea cycle. It's the reason why birds don't pee, which I didn't realize that not everybody knew that, but I had one student that swore up and down that they saw birds peeing. No. They're eureka-tail-like animals, so they do not. They don't have urea. So, yes, you won't see that bird highway to do that. All right, another thing for HQ. You guys are going to be on fire today, so.